Hey guys, today is November 30th. It's a beautiful Saturday. I've tried this lesson around 4 times, and it's a hard subject while also being so easy. This runaround, I'm going to try and make it as simple as humanly possible. There's a student in here who has a job. He's 21 years old, and most of his coworkers are 30 to 40 years old. They're around 10 to 20 years older than him. He finds that none of these older coworkers like him very much. He thinks that they're all very envious of him because he has the same position as them. And he's noticed that it affects his work because he can't work very well with people who don't like him because the job requires some level of teamwork. And it's very hard to work with people who dislike you. So he's wondering what to do about it. What are my thoughts on it? How can he solve this issue? And my guess of what's happening is that this student doesn't realize that his thoughts leak out to the outside world. I think that the average person thinks that their thoughts are private. Like, if I really, really hate this person, but I don't say that, no one will notice. If I think that I'm better than these people, but I don't say it out loud, no one will notice. I've always found that not to be the case. I'm a big believer that the thoughts you hold will leak out, and you essentially should assume that whatever you think in your brain is being megaphoned out to the world, because the human mind and human beings in general are very, very good at reading each other. And you're very actually bad at disguising your thoughts. Because you told me that you think they are envious of you because you hold the same position as them while also being 10 years younger, I think that you think you're better than them. And look, maybe you are. By all the metrics, you have the same job. You get paid the same. In fact, you even mentioned that you have more responsibilities than them. You're kind of like their superior, and you're younger than them. So it makes sense that you think you're better than them. And I'm telling you, it's that thought. That's why they dislike you. I'm near certain. The reason they dislike you is because you think you're better than them, and that has leaked out. It's leaked out into the air. They can smell it. Imagine you're 35 years old working at, this pizza place. This guy, this young guy, he's in there too, and he thinks he's better than you. He thinks you're a loser. Would you want to work with that guy? If you're the old coworkers and this young guy comes in thinking he's hotshot and he thinks all of you are losers, would you like that guy? Probably not. So my suggestion to this student is I would really start to ask himself, what does he think about these people? And would he want those thoughts to be public? And if the answer is no, I would change those thoughts. And I can give you guys an example of how I look at other people, right? When I look at people who maybe are older than me and maybe less successful than me, I don't necessarily think that I'm better than them. And in fact, I even find it hard to say whether I am more successful than them. Because the truth is, I don't know. They had a different life than me. I don't know the cards that they were given. And in general, I feel bad for people who I think have bad lives. I don't think I'm better than them. In general, when I look at other people and I'm like, that life sucks, I look at it with sympathy. And I think if that was public, I think if my mind was shown out to the world, I wouldn't be embarrassed of it. Because it's just true. The fat guy across the street, I feel bad for him. I want to help him. In my brain, in my mind, it hurts my brain to see fat people. I want to help them. And I think that's why I've generally been always liked throughout my life. I've never really been a person who's hated very much. I've never found that to be the case. All my coworkers have liked me in general. Everyone I've worked with, everyone I'm around, they've liked me in general. And I like to believe it's because my mindset and the thoughts I've had never really made other people dislike me. It's like, why dislike that guy? That guy might think I'm fat, but he doesn't think he's better than me. He thinks I'm fat and then he wishes he could help me. Why hate that guy? So just something to think about, guys. I want you guys to deeply understand this fundamental principle. I'm going to summarize this whole lecture up. You should treat your thoughts as if they're public. You should treat the thoughts that come in your mind. I know that no one can hear them. I know that you think no one knows you're thinking them. But you should just assume that they are public to the entire world. And that's why I recommend having good thoughts. If you've noticed or you think that other people are envious of you, they probably think that you think they're envious of you, and they're not going to like that. Because envious of what? They'll probably be like, this little snot-nosed brat, he's young, he doesn't know the real world. I'm here, I'm 35 years old, working at the same place as him. He thinks he's a big hotshot. Bro, of course they're not going to work with you well. Of course they're going to dislike you. You think you're the king who walked into their little place, and you think you're the hot shot. And I can't know this. I can't know whether this is actually what's happened in this work environment, but this is my guess, because I've noticed that most people think that their thoughts are private, when I found that it's very much not the case. Your thoughts aren't private. They leak out with everything that you do. And if you're around people for a long time, if you're around coworkers for 8 hours a day, 4 hours a day, whatever it may be, after a long enough time, they're going to know what you think of them. And if you're not thinking good things, don't expect them to like you. Hopefully this makes sense, and hopefully this helps.